Welcome everybody to Luciano's Resin Art. Today I would like to show you how to create a wall clock using resin. This clock is made into a 35 centimeters mold, and I started by preparing and washing the sand first, and also the shells. I have smaller and bigger shells here, and some stones which I picked up from a river close by. These are washed in isopropyl alcohol afterwards and let it dry. Here I used 1:1 resin. Is like 60 milliliters for the sand. So the way I prepare this, I mix it with resin, and as you will see soon enough, I realized that I would actually like the sand to be on a bigger surface. I'm flattening it out so it shouldn't be higher than the actual mold. If you're new working with resin, I would definitely recommend safety first. Gloves and mask is needed at all times when you're touching with and working with resin. Also, something very important which I learned after a few months working with resin is that you need to be careful with cross-contamination. Every time you're touching something, when you're working with resin, you're paying attention to your project, and then when you're coming back, you forget that you actually used your heat gun, your table, and everything that you used when you had the gloves on. You actually had put some resin on it. So afterwards, if you touch it with your bare hands, I would definitely not recommend that. Every time you go into your workshop, to your space where you're creating projects using resin, always use gloves. These are natural gloves, which at the moment are the safest to use, and they're not very expensive, so I'll definitely recommend it to change them as often as needed. Here you can see I'm creating my beach sand. I'm using different rocks and shells to look as natural as possible. You have to be careful of the size of everything that you use here. Rocks and shells, I try to use as small as possible. And here I'm making a little bit more sand to go on the left, so it'll be equal size. Going back to what you need actually to work with resin, so besides the obvious, you need to buy resin and colors, either mica, which I prefer, or alcohol inks. Then you need molds, you need heat gun, small tools that you can use when you're working with resin, and of course some glasses, plastic glasses, and something to stir the resin. This resin has like 40 minutes working time, so what I do, I pour equal parts of resin. It is measured by volume, not weight. A lot of people which I have seen working with resin, they still using a weight scale for part A and B. I will definitely not recommend that. Just to use equal parts by volume, because part B, the hardener, is always heavier than part A, and that will make your resin not cure properly. Yeah, so definitely by volume. Now I'm decanting my resin. I used here 300 milliliters of resin and separated in different cups. I'm gonna use 3 different shades of blue: dark blue, blue, and green blue. As soon as the resin starts to warm up in the glass, that's the time when I'm starting to add the mica, the color. I'm checking that if the color is strong enough, I added just a little bit more to get that opaque color. It's important to mix it very well so you don't leave any traces of mica not mixed properly. It will show up in your project. It takes around a minute each to mix it very well. And this is for my wave. I'm using a titanium white paste, which is very good. Most important part about creating the waves, and I still struggle sometimes with that, is you really have to wait for the white to be as a heavy cream to be able to create the waves. Alright, so I'm starting to pour the colors. And then leave some space between so the colors will not blend from the beginning. I'm making sure that the whole surface is covered. The resin is self-leveling, but sometimes it needs a little bit of help. And now I'm starting to blend the colors. First the dark blue with the blue. And then the green with the blue. I'm using the rest of the resin, so that will be like the darker blue and pulling a little bit of the blue towards it. And now using the heat gun, I am starting to blend the colors. Alright, so I managed to get 3 shades of blue. There is some transparency, so I'm still adjusting and adding a little bit of dark blue to make sure that is uniform color. At this point, I am satisfied with the colors, and green had like a nice wave at the bottom. So the colors already blended, and now I'm pouring the white first, just plain resin in the front, and then white in the back. This is a titanium white paste. It's very important to be thick, so it will not blend with the transparent. Now using the heat gun, I will start pushing the wave forward, and that's it. Our clock is done. Thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.